In this video, I want to share with you everything that you need to know about the root chakra so that you can start to explore how the root chakra is playing out in your life and perhaps causing some blockages, how to manifest with the root chakra, and how to better understand the role that the chakras play in your life. So, welcome to this 7-part series. We are starting at the root chakra, and over the coming weeks, I'm going to take you through the chakras from bottom to top, one by one. Firstly, hi, I'm Stormy. If you don't already know me, I'm a chakra healer and a spiritual mentor, and the chakras are my jam. I love helping women embody their divine feminine, live their dharma, and use the chakras to help you do so. The root chakra governs your sense of survival. If it feels like you are just sort of surviving, getting by, almost like life is running on this treadmill, that is a very good sign that your root chakra is blocked. Whereas when your root chakra is healthy and it's open and the energy is flowing, it really does feel like you're thriving. You're embodied in a state of creator mode. So first, let's explore physically what happens when your root chakra is blocked. So the areas of your body that links to the root chakra are your legs, your bowels, your gallbladder, and your lower back. So you might find that when your root chakra is blocked, you will actually feel it, you'll notice it, you'll have some sort of blockage or dis-ease or condition health-wise in these areas that is going to show you, babe, that's your root chakra. Like, I'm trying to get your attention. A lot of people are constipated. A lot of people live their life and walk around with messed up bowels because of the root chakra, because you're in survival mode and your body is trying to knock on the door and get your attention. And so when that happens and when you notice something coming up physically, it is really your body's way of telling you that there is some sort of survival related wound or pattern or emotional charge playing out. And so the root chakra, the areas of your life that it governs, is actually quite broad compared to all of the other chakras. It's the most broad because it really is about the foundations of your life, and obviously there's a bit to that. So there's actually 4 main areas to look at when you are starting to work with and explore your root chakra, and in the future, keep this in mind: home, health, work, money. These are the 4 key aspects to explore that make up the root chakra. See it as there's this tree, and then what makes a tree really healthy and strong is the roots that go down into the earth. And just imagine that there are 4 roots linking to these areas. And so what you can start to do is actually just explore, how do I feel in these areas? How consistent am I? How consistent is money? How consistent is work? How stable, how secure do I feel? Is my bank account showing up for me? How consistent is money flowing in and out of my life? What's the relationship that you have to these 4 areas? How do you feel inside of your body? How is your health going right now? Do you have any dis-ease? Do you have any conditions? Do you have any sense of not being in homeostasis that you can actually start to explore? Because that is often a really, really good sign of the root chakra being blocked. And the biggest thing to really start to understand is survival mode physically and how this links into your body, because when your root chakra is blocked, basically in some way, shape or form, you're living in a fear response. You're going to be in fight, flight, freeze or fawn. One of those 4 fear responses, and you're probably going to oscillate between some of the different ones. Fight being like you're working really hard, the overachiever, the hustler, fighting to make ends meet, fighting to maybe keep a relationship alive, fighting to keep everyone else happy, fighting to manifest your dreams, fighting to make it happen, but it ends up feeling like heavy, it's draining, it's a lot, it's hard work. Whereas fawning is people pleasing. It's where you easily go into the chameleon mode of being who you think that you need to be in order to fit in order to make people happy. Freezing is what you probably do when you've burnt out too much, pushed yourself too hard, fought too hard, and so you'll probably go into freeze mode, where you might hermit mode, curl up into a ball and cocoon, get sick even, your body will probably even catch a cold, for example, and force you to chill out. Flight, where you sort of run away from conflict, running away from like procrastinating, running away from having to do the hard things, running away from actually taking the action required on your dreams because it feels overwhelming, it feels too hard, it feels too much. And underlying all of these fear responses is really this sense of hard, of struggle, of suffering. So what blocks your root chakra in the first place? This is important because this is what helps you to unblock it and to keep it open and healthy and flowing as it needs to be in order for you to thrive. Essentially, with any of the chakras, what blocks them is trauma, big T trauma or little t trauma, understanding that trauma is a part of the human experience. No one is not subject to it. We all experience it in our own way, in our own experience. And what happens is that when you experience something that feels traumatic to your body, to your unconscious mind, it leaves an imprint until you heal it. It sends your nervous system into a state of that fear response of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And until you actually close that loop of survival and come back to rest and digest, to the parasympathetic state, you'll stay in that. And that is what causes that imprint and blocks that root chakra. Or it might not be traumatic, but you might just have experienced conditioning that left an imprint, that created a belief that has led to this blockage that you're experiencing health-wise or money-wise or work-wise or relationship-wise. They might not have, there might not have been any trauma directly related to that, but the experience of money was one of stress, of turmoil, of conflict, and you picked up on that as a kid because when you're between the ages of 1 and 8, you take on everything like a sponge. So your nervous system becomes attuned to the sensation of chaos around money. And so you're an adult, and no matter what you do, the only thing that you can, end up creating is this chaotic sense of money being stressful. And it's not actually you. It's not that you're, not worthy of it. It's literally just that is what your nervous system is attuned to. Same with relationships, right? Let's say that your conditioning around relationships is that your parents were often fighting or arguing and they weren't overly loving, they weren't overly affectionate. And so now as an adult, you keep having these same sort of patterns playing out in your relationships where you're not really having the depth of intimacy and connection and peace, just peace and calm that you're looking for, and it's just sort of chaotic and maybe stressful and there's fighting, and it's the same sort of things happening because of this conditioning left in that root chakra. And what all of these have in common is the unconscious stories that are created as a result of the conditioning, as a result of trauma. These stories are formed, and these stories are so unconscious, they're subconscious, that they'll play out until you make it conscious. And so it's really about taking those stories and the narratives and bringing them to light and shifting them to be more empowering, to be more aligned with your soul, with your dharma, with how you want to, how you desire to live. So the root chakra links to the element of earth. So it's very much about grounding. It's about becoming grounded in your body, having a healthy, regulated nervous system, getting grounded in your home environment and in your relationships, like really creating safety in every aspect of your life, creating safety in your body. And that's what I really want you to take away from this. If you take anything, take this. It's that safety starts in your body. Everything that you are desiring out there starts from you feeling safe to receive that, to hold that, to have that in your body. More money requires safety in your body. More love, more aligned relationships requires you to feel safe in your body to actually receive that. Your dream career, having the success that you desire, requires you to feel safe in your body first. Feeling okay to be and feeling comfortable to be intimate with someone else, really confident in that, requires deep safety in your body. So it actually all comes back to your body. And the really amazing news, the most amazing part of that is that you can control that. Like, your body is your body, right? You can't control money. You can't control other people. You can't control who pays what and, how many clients, how many customers, or what a boss does. You cannot control it, but you can control this. So how can you start to incorporate more safety into your life, into your body, into your routines, into your money, into your home, into your career, and into your relationships? And if I was you, I would start with simply yourself. Start with your routines, start with your self-devotion. Because creating safety and opening the root chakra really is about your body-based connection, somatic healing, looking at, like I was mentioning, the stories that you hold around what's causing these blockages, and connecting and shifting this on a cellular level from within your body. Start with a grounding practice. Like, what makes you feel grounded, and can you simply have an intention every morning to have this grounding practice, this grounding ritual of yours, whether that's getting in nature and actually earthing and really receiving the frequency of nature, because it's very healing, it's very grounding and safe and abundant. Also, meditating, practicing breath work, music, touch, like self-soothing. There are so many ways that you can start to create this safety, and know that every day is different, right? Life fluctuates and life changes, and there is such a seasonal, cyclical nature to life. Things happen that trigger you, that scare you, that maybe freak you out or try and knock you over a little bit. And so it's so important to realize that a grounding practice has to come with you no matter what's happening. It's not just to use when life is ideal and you have time and you have space, but how can you simply create an intention of grounding so that no matter what sort of day you're having, no matter what's happening around you, no matter what other people are doing, you can just drop in and connect in with yourself. And something to note is that as life does change and you're manifesting, new seasons in life and stepping into new levels, your root chakra needs to come along with you for the journey of that, because different things, different manifestation, new income levels, new, like, potentially different careers, or like up levels within your career, new relationships can bring with it a sense of not always feeling safe to actually have that. And so when you are up leveling, when you are manifesting, can you just bring along this sense of grounding and safety and knowledge of the fact that it does sometimes actually unconsciously feel unsafe, and work on creating that safety, knowing that there's nothing wrong with you because you're feeling blocked in it, or because it's hard, or because it's a little bit scary and overwhelming. It's actually very human, it's very normal, and we all experience that. But this is your way to get to work on that, is by connecting to your root chakra, creating that safety, and doing so on a subconscious, somatic, and soul level, which is my jam. So when you do move from being in survival mode into creative mode, what happens is that that's when you really get to tap into that manifestation power that is innate within you, and very much deepen your embodiment of your divine feminine, which then leads into your sacral chakra, which we will be exploring in the next episode, which is the next one up from the root chakra. So this is everything about the root chakra that I'm going to pour into you, and I will see you and connect with you all about the sacral chakra up next.